Are you ready to go, Mr. Machado?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Got your notes?
Notes are ready.
Yeah.
Got your oats?
Got your oats in your notes. And we're going to the matchup of the ages. Let's talk about old versus new. You guys know the drill. I pick an old movie, and the algorithm gives us some ideas, and Cameron picks the new movie. So let's talk briefly about Sunset Boulevard. 1950 is when this movie was made, and this is the epitome of film noir. We've got a writer who is essentially a washed-up writer. He's having a hard time. He's down on his luck, and he stumbles into an old silent movie star played by Gloria Swanson. And then all kinds of crazy shenanigans happen, including a dead monkey.
That was awesome.
That's so amazing. And this received 11 Oscar nominations,
Wow.
3 wins, and ironically enough, Gloria Swanson, who is the actress who plays the leading role, she was herself a silent movie star.
Oh, wow.
And
Cool.
we might go into that here in a little bit, but what about Spider?
Oh, okay. Let me tell you about this new, clean, awesome, fast, kids are talking about it
Kids
movie.
are talking.
It's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Came out like 7-ish years ago. And there's been a lot of Spider-Man's movies.
Lots of men's.
There was the Tobey Maguire ones, Andrew Garfield ones. There was the Marvel Cinematic Universe ones. They've redone this multiple times. And then this is an animated one. And the animation style is like a graphic novel come to life. Really cool animation style. With a new, not Peter Parker, but Miles Morales.
Right.
Who, interestingly, as this movie kicks off, Spider-Man is already a guy, Peter Parker, in the universe, and Miles Morales is just a kid in this universe. His dad is a cop, and his dad he hates Spider-Man, and there's some tension between him and his father, but his uncle's really cool. Like, he goes out with his uncle, and it's you can kind of understand that dynamic. Like, my dad's lame and he's overbearing, but my uncle's cool, and he goes out and spray paints graffitis with him and stuff. So that's the new movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And they have similar rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw similar rankings.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's similarities beyond. I mean, look at that. 8.4 IMDb,
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes, 97, 98. Beyond that, they're kind of both. Well, I didn't mention that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Verse, it's a multiversal movie. It deals with, the multiverse kind of breaking open and different spider people come through
Spider people.
the portal. Sunset Boulevard, I thought at the beginning was going to be like going into kind of a portal, because the way they introduced the house on Sunset Boulevard, it's like, oh, it's abandoned. And then he goes up there and then it's like, oh no, she's there. And she says, come in.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this like, did he walk through like a portal, like a time portal? That was my first impression of it.
I remember back in the day, John, Allison and I, we just made a pact. It was like, we're going to watch old movies. This was years ago. And this was the first old movie that I picked. It was Sunset Boulevard. And we picked a good one. Yeah. And I just want to say, I love that opening shot. Where Joe's body is floating and the camera is under him, and then above him you see the policeman and the newspaper camera guys.
And then the shot that introduced, so then it goes back in time, and then they have the shot of the building, and then they dissolve into like the window, and like the curtains are blowing. It right away, very compelling imagery.
It came out with
Swinging.
guns a-blazing and swinging big time. And I can't speak highly enough about Sunset Boulevard. I loved it. And John, I want you to take a crack at this. I am not voting yet, of course, but I found this movie to be First time, yes, I really enjoyed it. Second time watching it years later, still is amazing. Your take?
Okay, my take on Sunset Boulevard?
Yep.
Okay. So I should start by saying, to be clear to the whole world on the internet, I don't think I have any business talking to the whole world about movies
okay.
or Catholicism. But here I am
Here
in
you
a
are, it's okay.
Catholic
There you are.
movie
It's all
show. But yes, Lord have mercy. I'll try to be humble here, but I'm not otherwise.
Good.
So yeah, Sunset Boulevard I think it's great. Dead Man's POV. That's a thing that's very unique about it. I had in film school, I had a point of view class. My editing mentor had a class just on point of view in storytelling in film.
Okay.
And we spent the whole semester looking at different point of views. And obviously literature started with that. And then how does that work in film? And the dead man's point of view, it's pretty unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's drowned, and then you hear his voiceover.
Right.
So that's kind of, they set up that it's him telling the story.
It confused me the first and second time for a few minutes. And then I was like, okay, I get what's happening here. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just really unique. It just sets you up now, like just your expectations are just not like immediately just limited. Just because I'm watching those movies, I'm rooting for the character. You know, I'm hoping they succeed or they do well, that they're good at the end or something. But this is just like, there's no hope for the guy. So that completely changes the way you watch it.
Yeah.
I think it softens the blow. I honestly don't know why they did it. I'm not that smart. I'm not well read or anything. I think someone who's really good with literature and or stuff like that could probably have a better insight on why you would do such a thing, or a writer. But what it did to me, I think the effect practically is that it definitely softens the blow of the ending a lot. That you're not like, no, what? Like,
Yeah, it's not like, oh no, he died.
Yeah, but you do want to know, like, okay, how did he get to that spot? How did he get here? So yes, it softens the blow, but it's also like, okay, well, tell me what happened. And then it goes through, and then it's just like, oh, okay. And obviously, the fun twist of it is that she was wildly famous in the silent film era. And because Joe Gillis said, "You used to be big," and her response is, "I am big. It's the pictures that got small." I mean,
she's great.
Yeah, she did so good. Like, shout out to that actress. She
was
awesome.
absolutely. What's crazy is this was a comeback for her in real life.
That's so cool.
That's
So
awesome.
so she came into this, she's age 50 or 51, because she's born in 1899. So she worked with Cecil B. DeMille in real life on multiple pictures.
CBD.
Yeah. So they worked together on silent film, and she owned this movie. The way that she spoke, like her voice and her speech, was so unique. I haven't seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And her facial expressions.
Like, I would say it's easy to do that wrong. It's easy to just muff that up. It's just she's eating the scenery. She's just so big, so full of herself.
She nailed it.
Yeah, but it works.
Right.
It
And just her demeanor, it's just like, this woman's absolutely mad. Like, she's mad and
she's crazy.
Everybody knows it except for her. Public schools are out of control, and homeschooling isn't for everyone. But what about Catholic schools? Even many Catholic schools are drifting away from the faith. Is your Catholic school one of them? The next generation is at risk of forgetting their Catholic tradition and losing their faith. That's why we love the work of the St. John Henry Newman Institute. They help revitalize Catholic schools. They train leaders, give grants for schools in need, and build roadmaps to help schools transform their curriculums. The John Henry Newman Institute is the guide that Catholic schools need, and it's simple. At jhni.org, schools go through a simple application and assessment process and receive a tailored transformation plan so that their Catholic school can embrace tradition and teach the fullness of the faith. Whether you work at a Catholic school or just drop your child off there, make sure your school joins the John Henry Newman Institute network so that you can get peace of mind knowing that your Catholic school is really fully Catholic. Learn more and join us at jhni.org, accelerating the renewal of Catholic education. That's jhni.org, jhni.org.
Okay, so you brought up kind of the really excellent cinematography and the acting. So what I want to say about Spider-Verse is, whereas, okay, this one, yeah, the cinematography I say was really, really good. Like, I was compelled, but Spider-Verse was groundbreaking in its cinematography. Like, if we're talking about apples versus apples, two different types of apples, cinematography in Spider-Verse is, anyone who's seen it, just like, it's marvelous. I can't believe they pulled this off. Like, everything is basically hand animated, hand drawn with computer, enhancement. And you could literally, sometimes you say this figuratively, but literally you could pause the movie at any point and you'd have something you could probably put on your wall.
Yeah.
It is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
So you can, how when you read a graphic novel or a comic book, it'll have like frames and like pow, and it'll have really dynamic framing and contrast. They make it feel like the comic book or the graphic novel has come to life, but then they incorporate some of that. Like, they'll change like the frame rate during a fight. So it's like, normally it's 24 or 30 frames a second, and then it's like 4 frames a second, and you have these cool.
Right.
So if that's what we're talking about, like, Spider-Verse owns this movie.
What's ironic, though, what's ironic is Sunset Boulevard, one of the Oscar wins was in cinematography. So at the time, it must have.
Hold up. I don't know if that's 100%. Like, both are excellent in what they do. Spider-Man is flashier, more noticeable, and perhaps more takes more work to execute. But I'm not convinced it owns Sunset Boulevard and how it's shot.
I mean, I think probably we'd say 60, maybe 80% of Sunset Boulevard isn't like, wow, look at that shot. We could probably say like, wow.
It doesn't have to be. Cinematography just needs to serve the story. It's not a thing on itself.
Yeah, but I think half the time a cinematographer is just like, I don't know what to do, so let me just light this like you would normally light a thing.
There may be truth to that. I think because of the essence of Spider-Man verse Into the Spider-Verse, there's a lot there. But because of the nature of it being a graphic novel come to life, I think that bodes well for it. I think that is a great thing, is that the color and the shots.
I mean, what Sunset has over Spider-Verse is the actor. Like, the level of acting and performance is great. I think the voice acting
more than that over it.
Yeah, we can get into that, but that was just the second point that was brought up. I think the voice acting, though, I don't have a problem with any of the voice acting in Spider-Verse. I think it's great, but I do think Sunset Boulevard just achieved something in its acting. I think it was really, really good.
It's a thing. Movies, it makes them better, and the perfect movie needs to have, which is, there needs to be something unique. I know that's just sounds like it's obvious, but like a quality that's just not like played out and just boring. Like, it needs to have something, because it's trying to convey real life, truth in on the screen, in cinema, in the film, and I think. And real life has that. It just has these qualities that's like, it's not manufactured. It's just like, this could only happen in real life. Like, you can't write this. And then when you pull that off in a film, like, oh, I can't make that lady up. I can't. If you met her, you'll be like, yeah, that's like that's. But no, they did. They are able to. That's what you live for. That's what you want to see in a film. It's like the monkey thing and the her mannerisms, like that. Yes, you could say, like, if it's not done well, it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
So it could easily just go the other way. But if you do it, if the movie has enough quirk and enough particularities and a little bit of unexpected kind of weirdness, and it works, it just drives it to truth, like reality.
Yeah, but it's like, you might have an exotic dish at a restaurant. It's like, wow, I didn't expect that to work, but it works. And that's not as interesting to me as something that just like it's like when you eat Pop Rocks. It's like, these are so great. They're popping in my mouth. Like, this is delicious. And it's Spider-Verse. Whatever you say about Sunset Boulevard being groundbreaking or beautiful or that, like, Spider-Verse has that in spades. So I think I would care more about what is Sunset trying to say as a film.
Yeah, we took too long to get here. I'll say.
I mean, we're talking about Sunset later too when we rank it.
Good. Okay.
Well, but we should talk about it because that's more important.
Because I have more to say on Spider-Verse after you mention what you want to say about Sunset.
Go ahead. Go for it.
So yeah, in terms of what it says, truth, goodness of the film, we talked about the beauty. But I think Sunset Boulevard is more insightful. It both attempts to get to a deeper truth. It goes deeper, and I think it also succeeds. So sometimes a movie can try to be deep or try to go for something big and important and then just not get it, and that's a knock. And sometimes a movie just goes for something like you say about Moneyball. It's like it's like the ceiling, but it aces it. Like, does an amazing job at portraying baseball and sports fandom. So this one, I think, goes for something more profound, a point that's more unique and profound than Spider-Man. And I think it's more true. I think it says something more helpful to people. So I think what Sunset Boulevard says, mainly, I think it's general thesis. Obviously, it says a lot of things in every scene, but its main thing is you can't live by lies. And if you coddle someone, you don't want to hurt someone's feelings, and you lie, that is chaos. That leads to destruction, disintegration, and that's what happens. That's a really harsh movie on just lying. Right. It just destroys him. And you don't want, like, I was like, no, he's redeeming himself. Like, he's doing better now. No. Like, he's dead. That's what happens when you're afraid to tell a crazy woman that she's wrong. Yeah. That's what happens. That's you die.
Point well taken. Spider-Verse, go.
So with Sunset, I agree that as a whole, generally, yes, they nailed it in terms of the thesis. I think I have some critiques I'll share later over the obscure morality of the alternatives it proposes for the paths he could take. With Spider-Verse, it's a much cleaner, I mean, just more specifically like focused moral journey. So it doesn't get into all this like you have to theologize about it. It's like, okay, my dad doesn't understand me. My uncle does. But spoiler alert, the uncle is actually the enemy that my dad has been like trying to grab and get. And what's evil is hiding yourself from your true family. And it's only through his dad's encouragement for his son to say, I'm not going to be overbearing and overprotective. I believe in you. And that is the thing he needs to become Spider-Man. And in the final battle, when his dad is looking at Spider-Man, he doesn't know who Spider-Man is, but now it's his son dressed up in this costume and says, I believe in you. That's a powerful message. It doesn't go as high and deep and profound.
Sure, it was powerful. Yep. But it's simple. Yep. And I take simple, clear, I would say perfectly designed, perfectly calibrated. The plot is perfect. The visuals are all meaningful. Like there's a frame of Miles in a reflection, and when he doesn't feel like he's up to the task, he's like looking up the Spider-Man suit and he's lower in the frame. And then when he's taking on the role after his father's encouragement, it like matches his face. And because it's all written out like a graphic novel, they have to think about every frame. Think about the meaning of every frame. So I think the plot is perfect. It's clean. Vote. It didn't reach as high, but it enabled us. Voting. We got to vote.
It's not perfect though. It makes it says things that aren't true. Like it says anyone can be like this. It has this big not even under. It's explicit about like anyone like can be like this. Anyone can be a superhero. It's like this is for anyone. It has this like universal type of like liberal modern.
I got the same
thing.
feel, John. I felt like great. Everybody gets a trophy. That's
Yeah,
not true.
it is.
Not everybody gets a
It's
trophy.
one of the things the film says. Like,
Right.
I
agree with John.
Liberal like cartoon movies made for like nerds that make millions of dollars in the 2010s will always have a flaw. Like you can't say it's perfect at what it says. It obviously is. It also like glorifies this like teenager like going around the city like this individualist kind of like city environment of like a modern liberal city lifestyle. It like really puts that on a pedestal.
No,
like,
that's the
listening
wrong
to
way.
me-
It's clear that that's the wrong way for him to approach life. It needs to be with his father.
I'm not talking about the criminal stuff. I'm talking about just in general. It like has these really cool music montages of a kid walking around and stuff. I'm not talking about the spray painting or the putting on stickers. I think it does redeem itself there because I was about to be like, okay, and it does kind of make that look cool, like the spray painting and
That's kind
But
of.
then overall, just one last thing. Overall, it does have a bit of a flaw of like. Oh, also, I didn't even talk about. Are we talking about this movie again at any point?
But we gotta vote.
The multiverse thing is an atheist argument. Just gonna say that it's
okay.
a common.
It's also a
atheist
theist
argument.
argument.
No, the multiverse is not a theist argument.
It is.
You can take it and say God still exists, but it's not an argument that theists will be like, oh look, it's a multiverse. That's why God exists. That's the atheist
The
argument.
multiverse could be true.
It could be true, but
And so therefore it's not an argument at all in either direction.
I am going to call for a vote because I am in one verse. This verse. I'm gonna come out and vote.
Okay, I'm just letting you know I'm gonna land some haymakers on Sunset Boulevard later.
Well, then vote right now. Which one is it?
Spider-Verse.
Okay, you're wrong. It's Sunset Boulevard by a landslide. John, what's your vote?
Sunset Boulevard.
And we
Okay.
win. That's cool. That's how we do
All
it.
right, you guys are cool.
If you liked that clip, which I'm sure you did, then check out our other clips. And don't forget to go into the comments section and hype this bad boy. Don't make me get fat cardinal. Hype it now.